Namaste to everyone. Namaste, Sarmila Didi. Good morning. Welcome to the morning session.
जी नमस्ते तारा जी, सभी को नमस्ते. Welcome to the morning session. So we have completed exercise 1, observing the self by the self. Just to quickly go through the steps one by one, and then we can take some observations or questions if there are some. So in exercise 1, we have been observing ourselves by ourselves, and we started with saying that I, the consciousness, I can observe myself, I can observe my imagination, the desire, the thought, the expectation. And every desire is associated with the feeling. I can observe that feeling. And in step 1, we were observing this feeling every moment, or trying to observe it every moment without reacting. So we weren't going to be labeling it or judging it. We weren't trying to change it, but just observing it as it is. To try to observe the feeling at every moment. This was step 1. In the second step, we were trying to evaluate the feeling. Is this feeling naturally acceptable to me or not? Would I like to continue with this feeling or not? This we asked ourselves in the second step. Then in the third step, we were evaluating our state with that feeling. So with this feeling that I am having at any moment, am I comfortable within or uncomfortable within? Am I happy in happiness or unhappiness? This is what we asked in the third step. So once we keep doing this, these 3 steps will happen in very rapid succession. It will almost be as if you observe the feeling and right away you can see that it is naturally acceptable or not naturally acceptable, whether you are comfortable or uncomfortable. And it becomes clear that whenever you have a feeling that is naturally acceptable to you, you feel calm, you feel comfortable, you are in harmony within. But any moment that you have a feeling that is not naturally acceptable to you, you feel unhappy, you are in discomfort, you want to come out of this state. So then in step 4, we ask the question that who is deciding this feeling that I am having at any moment? Is it someone else outside who has decided it? Any situation outside that was responsible for it? Or did I choose or decide it myself? This fourth step, once we have concluded that it is I who have decided my feeling, it is my decision, I have the choice, then it is a very liberating thought for me that I can choose this. I am no longer dependent on my happiness on the situation outside or the other person because I have no control over them. When I thought that I am dependent on the outside, I am dependent on the situation, I am dependent on the other person, I was struggling to try to change the other person, to change the situation so that I can be comfortable. But now, with step 4, it becomes quite clear that this is my choice. And I can choose to have the right feeling regardless of whether the situation outside is conducive to me or not, whether the person that I'm interacting with is behaving properly with me or not. Now I can choose to have the feeling regardless of their behavior. So these 4 steps then happen in very rapid succession, because once it is clear that I have decided, I don't have to keep asking that question. Of course, when there are some situations that seem challenging, that again I slip into getting impacted by the outside, then I might feel the need to again ask, is it really I who decided, or was it the situation outside? So we can go ahead and ask that question again and again, but it becomes clear that the person outside or the situation outside may trigger this response in me or this reaction in me. But ultimately, I am the one who is deciding. It is up to me to choose my feeling at any moment. So this was step 4. Then in step 5, we were asking this question that I want to be in happiness and continuity. But then there are moments when I am having a feeling that is not in line with my natural acceptance and I am unhappy. So, how come I chose this feeling? Because I don't want to be unhappy. So, in step 5, we are asking this question: how did I choose this? On what basis did I decide my feeling? Was it on the basis of understanding, or was it in the absence of understanding on the basis of some assumption or some preconditioning? Because if I've decided on the basis of understanding, then I will choose the right feeling. Right feeling meaning feeling that is naturally acceptable, that makes me comfortable. But if I have decided on the basis of some assumption, then it's not clear whether the feeling that I choose will be in line with my natural acceptance or not. It will depend on the assumption. It will depend on my sanskar. So then it becomes clear that I need to observe my sanskar also, my assumptions also. And I need to ultimately try to get to right understanding. Then in step 6, we were seeing that since I don't have right understanding in completeness as of now, what do I do? So I have this capacity of natural acceptance within me, and I can choose based on knowing what kind of feelings are naturally acceptable to me. So when we asked ourselves that question, then it was clear that the feeling of relationship is what is naturally acceptable to me, not the feeling of opposition. Feeling of harmony is naturally acceptable, not feeling of disharmony. And feeling of coexistence is naturally acceptable, not feeling of struggle. So in 6b, then it became clear that I need to understand relationship. I need to understand harmony. I need to understand this coexistence in completeness. So it reiterated my need for right understanding, to understand all of these in completeness. Then in step 7a, we talked about the fact that now that we know that the feeling of relationship, feeling of harmony, feeling of coexistence is what I need to have, and what I want to have at any moment, then can I do this at this moment? Can I have these kind of feelings at this moment? Because when I do, I will see that I become comfortable immediately. And of course, if we can ensure these in continuity, then we will be in harmony and in happiness every moment. And if I can do this at one moment, certainly I can see the possibility that if I do it at every moment, this is what the outcome will be, that I will be in happiness and continuity, which is what I wanted. So ultimately, we need to observe everything in this existence the way it is. That is only possible when we look within, not looking outside through the sense organs of the body, because those are very, very gross. And what we need to look at in the existence, the essence, is very subtle. And even space, which is the subtlest reality, is what we need to finally be able to observe. That is only possible if we awaken to the higher activities within us. So, this is one path. Ultimately, for this awakening inside, we have to pay attention inside. This is one way through these 7 steps. And so, we have been doing this for the past month or so. If there are any questions remaining or any observations regarding this exercise, we can discuss them now.
Good morning. Good morning to all. So, like the exercise was to go through the steps again and to see where, which. When I have done that exercise, I could see, like in the second step, when we are checking, is this feeling naturally acceptable to me? And also, we ask ourselves, do I want to continue with it? So there are two things. So I could find, like, the first part, maybe I was not able to see it properly. So when it comes to the second step, if I want to continue, I'm able to get that answer. No, I don't want to continue. Or yes, I want. That is very easy for me. And even the third step, when I ask, am I comfortable within? That also I am able to find out very easily. But that I don't know if I have explored it correctly. Is it naturally acceptable to me? If you could guide me on that.
Yeah. So your natural acceptance is what? It is your inner voice, isn't it? It is that answer that you're getting from within spontaneously as soon as you ask the question. You don't have to analyze, you don't have to judge. The moment you ask, you get the answer. Right? So when I ask you, what is naturally acceptable to you? Feeling of relationship or feeling of opposition? What answer do you get?
Relationship.
Yeah. So this is all that you're doing. The moment you see the feeling, you're asking yourself whether it's naturally acceptable or not naturally acceptable. And it's okay to work with this also, what you're mentioning, whether you want to continue it or not. This is another way of putting it. Basically, any feeling that you are not comfortable with, right, that is not naturally acceptable to you, you are bound to want to come out of that. You don't want to continue it. So you can start with that also. But you can see this, that when you check with your natural acceptance, it's very clear, right?
Right. Yes. And in the first step, when we are observing,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when it is mentioned, it's mentioned as desire, and in bracket it is written as feeling. So
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know, how is the desire and feeling connected? Like if we have a desire for doing anything, so what is the
Mm-hmm.
feeling? I mean, if you could explain.
Yeah. So if you really look at it, any desire that you have is associated with some feeling. For example, if I say, supposing somebody cheats me, right?
Mm.
Now, I may make this desire that I want to get back at this person. I want to punish him, or I want to do the same kind of thing with him. This will be associated with some feeling, and you can get an idea of that feeling, right? What kind of feeling would it be?
Opposition.
Opposition. Similarly, if I have a desire to meet somebody, take care of them, help them, what kind of feeling will be associated with it? A feeling of relationship. So, like that, you can see that every desire you have is associated with some feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why it's in brackets. It's not like a separate
Okay.
level, it's
Right.
at the same activity level.
Okay. So, Didi, like in case if I have a desire to drink tea, for example, so what is the
Mhm.
feeling there?
That you'll have to see, why are you wanting to drink tea? Supposing I have read somewhere, you have to ask yourself why you have this desire, but why do you have this desire? For instance, if I have read somewhere that tea helps to keep the heart healthy, I'm just giving an example, I'm not saying that it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I am very, you know, identified with the body. I have a fear that something may go wrong in the body suddenly, or something may go wrong in me, I think. So, with this fear, when I hear that it is very good for the heart, I start drinking tea every day, that maybe it will help. Now, here, what is your feeling? Either anxiety, fear, something like that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, it will depend on the reason why. If you ask yourself why you have a certain desire, you will be able to find out the feeling related to it. Is that okay?
Yes, Didi. So, in case like if that desire is because of my own habit, so in that case, then
What? If my desire
it
is?
is based on my habit. Like I have a habit of drinking tea, so because of
Yeah,
that
but
habit, yeah.
yeah, but you have a habit for what reason?
Mm-hmm.
You like the taste?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're enjoying the taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of feeling you will have, a pleasant feeling. But eventually, you want to see whatever feeling you have, is it naturally acceptable to you or not? This question we were asking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, natural acceptance has to do with the purpose. So if you are having tea, what is the purpose? Right? If it is just for a pleasant taste? Or is it something more? What is the purpose of any food or drink we consume?
Mm-hmm.
Is we are doing for the body or not? What is naturally acceptable is it should be nurturing for the body. Isn't it? If I ask myself this question, do I want to nurture the body or do I want to harm the body? The answer is very clear, isn't it?
Yes.
You want to nurture the body. This is what is naturally acceptable to me. So now, if you want to have the feeling that is in line with your natural acceptance, you will choose to have habits also based on the natural acceptance. Does it make
Mm.
sense?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So then you will see that taste is important, but more important will become this factor that is it nurturing for the body or not nurturing for the body. So you will try to incorporate both as you keep exploring.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So just because something is nurturing for the body, it doesn't have to be unpleasant in taste. You can choose to have something that is nice tasting for you, pleasant tasting also, but also is nurturing for the body, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you are clear that your happiness is something that is your choice, right? Your feeling is your choice. And not
Mm-hmm.
that you have to get happiness from some object outside. Does that
Mm-hmm.
clarify things?
Yes, yes.
Ji.
And lastly, one more, I would 6B step, uh,
Mhm.
we have to understand right relationship, harmony, and coexistence. So, um, while I was doing that exercise of seeing the relationship with close family members and again further, so what
Mhm.
I could observe is that even with the family members also, there are feeling of opposition when there is a different of opinion. So, and that is applicable everywhere, wherever I go and meet everyone.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I could not understand that step clearly. If you could clarify on that.
Yeah. To ensure right understanding, we have to become aware of all these higher activities. So that process takes time. So we may not have reached there yet. It will take time. However, we can start seeing that when I am able to see relationship, truly see relationship, then I will focus on the similarity with the other rather than on the differences. And this I will be able to do with every individual. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So when I see relationship with every other unit, every other person, then one is that I will have concern for the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will be able to see my relatedness with the other, the similarity between me and the other. And the second part of this is that I will be able to see my role, my participation in the relationship, what I need to do in this relationship. So both will become clear to me, regardless of the other person's behavior. And actually, if you see, this doesn't even, you know, if we, the example that you gave, somebody has contradictory opinions. So, what's the problem? Actually speaking, it's an opinion. Just like I have my opinion, somebody has a different opinion. That's fine, isn't it? If I
Yes.
am identified with my imagination, with my thoughts, with my opinions, then yes, it might seem like we can't get along because the other person has a different opinion. But when I choose not to identify with my opinions, when I go higher, when I refer to my natural acceptance, I choose to identify with that pure part within me, the essence. There I see the similarity with every other human being. Then I come out of this. Then I am okay with seeing that the other person can have a different opinion. They have a different upbringing. They have different ideas. They have different opinions. But that does not decimate the relationship. That does not take away from the similarity in the essence. And I identify with the essence and not with my assumptions, not with my ideas or opinions. Can you see the difference?
Yes, Devi.
Ji. Okay,
Yeah. Thank you so much, Devi.
thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste to all the co-explorers also. Didi, I have one question. Actually, day before yesterday, there was a discussion and I was confused actually. What is the difference between consciousness and awareness? Like, I
Yeah.
thought that consciousness is always there, but awareness is sometimes there, sometimes not there.
Mhm.
Can you please just explain the difference between consciousness and awareness? When I
Yeah.
say that I am aware, when I say that I am conscious, like this.
Okay. So being conscious and consciousness, you may consider this as a little different. Like, who are you? I am the consciousness, right?
Yeah.
Now, when I am aware that I am the consciousness, that is awareness, right? But if I assume I am the body, although I am the consciousness, then I am not in awareness. I am not conscious of it, that I am consciousness. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Actually, I was confused because I thought that consciousness is the self. So it is always
Yes.
there.
Yes. Consciousness is there
Yes. But I am
as
not
the.
conscious always. Yeah. Is this
Right.
okay?
You
Yes.
are not always aware of yourself as the consciousness.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes, Didi. Now it is clear. Thank you. Thank you, Didi.
Any other questions related to exercise one?
Not exactly questions, Didi. I am practicing, but yeah, everything that I have already discussed.
Yeah.
Sometimes yeah. So I discussed in the last batch also. It is happening even now. Maybe with practice I can overcome this. That some many times when I see that the feeling is not in accordance with the natural acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
then I am not responding outside.
Mm-hmm.
So now the reaction inside is also not there.
Very
But
nice.
the response which should have been there outside, it is also not there.
Yeah. So this is
So
a step in progress. We are working in progress, no? So the process is going on. So it starts with not being affected by the outside, but at the same time, that reference to the natural acceptance and seeing my participation, that second part has not yet happened. But if we pay attention to it, if we, um, look into that, we can do that also.
yes,
To have a feeling of concern for the other and to see my role in that relationship, which is the second part of seeing the relationship,
yes,
right? So
yes,
that will happen also. Yeah.
yes, yes, Didi.
Okay, nice.
Thank you, Didi.
Thank you.
I have a question, right, Didi? You have mentioned that we should naturally accept the opposite situation or a position. So, like in one situation, I realized I'm unable to do. Like I believe in, I have a preconditioning that we should maintain the healthy diet and healthy routine. And if some closed one is not doing that in front of me, I try to share this my knowledge with that person. And the when the person is unable to understand and continue doing that, I start feeling that if he or she will be, how can, while it should not, and it comes with feeling of sympathy, you can say. Is breaking, my voice is breaking. Hello,
It was breaking. Now I can hear you.
am I audible now,
Yes, now
Didi?
I can hear you.
Acha. Okay,
Yes,
I
you're
can
audible.
repeat it. Okay, so should
Yeah,
I repeat my question?
I think I got your question that
Someone is
somebody
not
close to you.
eating healthy, that we will do that.
Is my voice audible?
I I
Maybe?
try to put person by sharing my knowledge, what I learned. So I'm not able to accept. Okay.
Yeah. So when you say you
Y-
should,
Yes, yes.
yeah, can I respond? So when you say that we,
Okay, Didi, आप answer. You can.
yeah, so when you say we should naturally accept, there is I would just like to mention that natural acceptance is already there. We just have to see it. So basically, if we don't see that natural acceptance, then we have made acceptances of our own, which are not natural acceptance, but they are our own acceptances based on our own assumptions. So while it is true that we want to stay healthy and we want all our near and dear ones also to stay healthy, when we talk to them, important is what is our feeling behind what we are saying, right? For instance, I'll give this example. Now, we are discussing about the feeling in the morning session, and we have been doing this exercise one for about a month, right? Day
Yes,
in and day
Didi.
out, we have been talking about exercise one, having the right feeling, all of that. Now, if you are not able to have the right feeling, if I start scolding or getting angry, will that help you in having the right feeling? Yes, no.
No.
No. So, same way, if somebody is not doing what we think is the right thing, there's no need to get upset or angry about it. Just understand that it may take time. They are not able to see the significance at this time. So, we will try to help them in more creative ways to help them understand. But there is no need to get angry because ultimately we have concern for them. Why not express that concern rather than anger? Right? We expect that the other person should change right away, but it will take time. Maybe that they are trying to get happiness from that kind of food because they are not aware of this other factor that happiness is something to achieve from within. And just by saying it one or two times, it's not going to change everything for the other person, because right now they are not able to see the happiness inside, and they will feel like you are taking away that happiness outside also. So they also will get agitated, irritated, in opposition, and you are also in opposition, and that doesn't help the process. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes, Didi. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Didi, I can understand now. Yes,
Yeah.
the example you gave yours about you, like we are not able to adopt everything that you are sharing. We understand that this is the right thing to do. And yeah, if you were into a position not able to adopt it, it will be difficult for us. Yes,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
same way I the
Yeah.
other person.
Yeah.
The inability to do it.
So
Thank you,
in a way,
Didi. No.
we have to build our competence, right? In a way, we have to build our competence so that we are able to convey the message properly to the other. And slowly that change will happen. It will take time. Okay.
Yes, Didi. Thank you. Thank you very much.
दीदी नमस्ते दीदी नमस्ते सभी को
जी नमस्ते.
दीदी like sharing some question दीदी
Yeah.
दीदी when you last other day you told about the focusing and concentration दीदी so we will get that focusing and concentration through observation also and through even meditation and this anlom vilom. So outcome is for in all the cases outcome is focusing and concentration only Didi. But observation in observation I think it is easier and a quick method of focusing compared to other two. Am I right Didi? Or
See,
their
we get
level of
entangled with the terms. I'll just
yes,
mention something here. See,
Didi.
focus means to pay attention, isn't it?
जी जी
So right now what happens is we pay attention to many things, isn't it?
yes
Sometimes our attention is focused outside, sometimes our attention is focused inside, you know.
yes yeah
Sometimes
changing
it's focused on our loved ones, sometimes it is focused on something else, and so on.
जी
So what exactly we want to focus on, if we make that clear to ourselves, then
means
we will
purpose
do that. Right, what is our purpose? From there we can get what to focus on, isn't it?
yes
Now, when you say meditation, what is meditation? So really speaking, you are paying attention inside. That is meditation, isn't it?
जी
To
दीदी
meditate on something. Now you can meditate on a rock also.
Hmm.
You can meditate on anything within you also, right?
yes yes
But since our purpose is to realize the self, we want to meditate within the self, isn't it? We want to pay attention within the self. To meditate is to pay attention, isn't it?
Hmm.
To
yes
focus. So now you meditate within yourself. And within yourself, what do you want to meditate on? Those things that are changing, or that which is the constant, which is the pure part within you,
constant दीदी
that which is constant.
जी
So that is the highest activity within you, right? But
subtler
but it is more subtle. So we are not aware of it right now. We have to keep reminding ourselves. That's why we are referring to the natural acceptance. Back and forth, right? So that we can try to be there at that position. And in that process, we are also awakening to these other higher activities within us. But how will it start? It will start with at least being aware of the lower activities. So how to become aware of the lower activities? We are observing the lower activities from that higher point, isn't it?
Yeah.
So some people call it mindfulness. Some people, there may be many terms, but we should
Yes.
understand the process, what we are doing. So we are trying to awaken to the higher activities within us through this process. And you are observing the lower activities, but where are you observing from? You are observing from a higher point within you. So it seems like a struggle to begin with, but eventually that's what you want to do. And when you are focusing on, say, a candle outside, some people meditate on a candle outside.
Yes.
So now you get used to focusing your attention in one place and not letting it go here, there. But eventually, you're not going to get your answer from that candle. You're going to get the answer from within. So ultimately, just like how you are focused and paying attention to that candle, you have to focus and pay attention inside. Isn't it? Even when you talk of the breath, you are focusing on the breath. That is your related to the body, to the air sheath, the vital air sheath, that layer which is, you can say like a connecting link to your mind and to your body. But eventually, you have to get away from that and pay attention inside. So this is what we are trying to do, to directly pay attention inside, to observe inside. But eventually, you want to be at that point of pure observer all the time. And from there, you can see the whole essence of the reality, including space. But we need to be there in that position all the time. So that takes time. Does that help?
Yes. Got it, Didi. Thank you, Didi.
Thank you. Okay, I think no more questions are there. We can go to open up exercise 2. Of course, it doesn't mean that when we start exercise 2, we cannot ask questions regarding exercise 1, because exercise 1 will continue. Even though we may start exercise 2, exercise 1 is the foundation on which now we are going to talk about exercise 2. So in exercise 2, we are observing the body and the interaction between the self and the body. So what are we going to do? We are going to continue observing the self. And while continuing to observe the self, we will also observe the body and the interaction between the self and the body. And who is observing? Of course, I am observing. The self is observing. So again, just to clarify, this is one way of looking inside. There can be many, many, many ways. In tradition, there are many ways. This is one of the ways, right? It's not the only way, but we are choosing to do this way. The steps also that we are mentioning in the exercise, just as we mentioned in exercise 1, the steps that we will mention here is one possible set of steps. It's not the only set of steps. Okay. So this chart, I think all of us are very familiar with. We have been through this n number of times. This is depicting the qualities, the nature of the self and the body. That these are two distinct entities, you can see from this chart. Basically, the needs are different for the self and the body. The self requires happiness. It has to do with feelings. And this requirement of the self is a continuous need. The body, its requirement is physical facility like food. And it requires this from time to time. So you can see the difference between the needs of the self and the needs of the body. And similarly, the fulfillment is also very different, which is important, although we have read this and gone through this many times. But now we have to try to be aware of it in our living. That my need for happiness is fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling, which is within myself. They are activities within myself, right? That's how so much time we are spending on trying to have the right feeling. On the other hand, the fulfillment of the body's needs is by physiochemical things from outside. Similarly, we talked about the activities. Activities within me, the activity of imagination, the desire, the thought, the expectation. This is continuously going on, although we may not be aware of it being there continuously. While in the body, the activities go on from time to time. There is a break in all the activities. When it comes to the response, the body's response is very definite. There is recognition and fulfillment in the body. And the body doesn't have any choice in this matter. So the body, you give it some food, the body recognizes it as in a definite manner and fulfills that relationship, meaning this interaction between the food and the body happens in a very definite manner. This is what it means when we say body recognizes and fulfills in a definite manner. But in the case of the self, this recognition and fulfillment is not definite at present. Why? Because it is based on our assumptions, our sanskars, our beliefs. So if I believe something, in accordance to that, I will recognize and fulfill. If I believe something different, my recognition and fulfillment changes. So this indefiniteness goes on, and it can become definite when I get to knowing, when I get to right understanding, when I get to see the reality the way it is. So as an example, let's take that example of the body. We were talking about food. So if I assume that food that is packaged nicely is good for health, then based on that, I will give my body that kind of food. So I will buy it from a shop. It's all neatly packaged, and I will give it to the body. Body's response is definite. Body doesn't have a choice. Now, if this food is stale food, it was there from 2-3 days, and now I give this stale food to the body, the response will be in a definite manner. It will not nurture the body, it will harm the body. Okay? Body doesn't have a choice. I have that choice. Supposing I give the body some junk food. I assume, like, some people might assume that if I have some burger or something, there will be more calories or something like that. If that assumption is there, I may give the body that kind of food. I have that choice. I can find out. Body doesn't have the choice. Body will do things in the definite manner. What is nurturing for the body will nurture the body. What is not nurturing for the body, it will not nurture for the body. And the body cannot say no. The body will still take it in, but it will harm the body. So like that. So let's try to maybe for 5 minutes reflect on this. My needs, fulfillment of my needs, my activities, my responses. Body's needs, body's fulfillment of the needs, body's activities, and body's responses. Just for 5 minutes, we'll try to reflect on this and then we'll come back to your questions or observations. Okay, let's come back. We can try to take some questions or observations. Namaste.
Didi, regarding the response of self and response of body. So, can you little elaborate about response of body, that is recognizing and fulfilling? There is one example. Generally, we state about the needle and skin. Okay. So, can you little explain about how body recognizes the size of the needle and the penetration is the fulfillment? GD.
Hey, this recognition and fulfillment, what it means is, actually we are talking about that interaction between the object, one unit and another unit, isn't it? So when we talk of needle and the impact on the body, right? So if the needle is sharp, pointy, it is going to pierce the skin, isn't it? Let's first understand the process. If needle is blunt, not sharp, it will not penetrate the skin, right? So this is something that is definite. This is how it is. Right? Body can't choose that, okay, now I want this to penetrate, this should not penetrate. This cannot happen. It will always be so, right? So this is recognition and fulfillment. In other words, another way of saying it is that the body recognizes that unit in a definite manner and fulfills that relationship in a definite manner. That fulfillment is that piercing into the body or not piercing into the body. That is fulfillment. Recognition that it is, that is how it is. So this whole process you have to see in the same manner. Even if you say, like, like we talked of the junk food or the food that is nurturing for the body, it is always so. It won't change. Body can't choose to take in the junk food and let it nurture the body. It will not happen. Yeah. So that only is what we are referring to as recognition and fulfillment. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Time is also up. It's time for the Hindi session. There is one question in the chat. Rajendra Prasad ji is asking that what's the difference between step 2 and step 6? Because in step 2 also we are talking about natural acceptance in exercise 1. And step 6 again we are talking of natural acceptance. So basically in step 2, we are evaluating my feeling and then checking is my feeling naturally acceptable or not naturally acceptable? So the focus there is on whatever my feeling is. In step 6, our focus is on which feelings are naturally acceptable, because that is also fixed, that is a given. I can choose to have whatever feeling I want. In step 2, we are only checking my feeling. In step 6, we are saying which are the ones that are naturally acceptable, and that I need to understand these now in completeness, not any other. So I hope that is clear. But if there is further some question, we can either continue in the Hindi session or you can ask tomorrow in the English session. But I think we'll have to stop here. Ji Tara ji.
Ji. Thank you so much for this wonderful, enriching session, very engaging session. So, thank you to all the co-explorers for being a part of this English part of the discussion and putting your question, which is helpful for every one of us. Now, I'll be switching to Hindi session. Before we